Hey everybody. So, Tuesday night, President Obama gave a much anticipated speech regarding the complicated situation in Syria. After weeks of media speculation, strong bipartisan opposition in Congress, and skepticism from the American people, the president sought to explain the situation with regard to our potential intervention in Syria. And after watching his speech, I learned well, see, in this speech was different from the other that I learned because this time, well, what I did learn was that the president is really good at reading fan mail.
So let me answer some of the most important questions that I've heard from members of Congress and that I've read in letters that you've sent to me. One man wrote to me, as one person wrote to me, as several people wrote to me, many of you have asked, a veteran put it more bluntly.
I'm sure they appreciate the shout-outs. Let me interrupt myself here to mention that over the weekend, Russia suggested to the Syrian government that they put their chemical weapons under international control. Assad actually agreed. Also, let me say that at the end of the day, the president asked Congress to delay their vote on the authorization of use of military force in Syria to allow the diplomatic process with Assad, Russia, and the international community to play out. That's pretty awesome. But none of these weapons have actually been handed over yet. So if this doesn't play out, President Obama still needs a good case for intervening in Syria, and that's what his speech was supposed to do last night. Americans watched with bated breath as the president would provide us with new information to convince us that his proposal was specific and comprehensive. So what is it, Mr. President? Why should we strike? I know you can tell me this time.
Our ideals and principles, as well as our national security, are at stake in Syria.
Yes, national security. Keep going, Mr. President.
If we fail to act, the Assad regime will see no reason to stop using chemical weapons. Other tyrants will have no reason to think twice about acquiring poison gas and using them. Over time, our troops would again face the prospect of chemical warfare on the battlefield, and it could be easier for terrorist organizations to obtain these weapons.
Right! Syria is a threat to our national security because if we don't strike Assad for using chemical weapons, then he'll keep using chemical weapons on his people, which will then inspire other hypothetical dictators to use chemical weapons on their people. And if those hypothetical dictators are hypothetically in charge of countries where we have troops fighting those hypothetical dictators, then those weapons will be used on our troops. Also terrorists, for reasons that are currently unexplained and hypothetical.
If fighting spills beyond Syria's borders, these weapons could threaten allies like Turkey, Jordan, and Israel.
Okay, that is a legitimate concern. Is Israel going to be able to defend itself if anything were to happen?
Our ally Israel can defend itself with overwhelming force.
Okay, so what exactly are you going to do?
I will not put American boots on the ground.
You've said that before multiple times. What are you going to actually do?
I will not pursue an open-ended action. I will not pursue a prolonged air campaign. This would be a targeted strike to achieve a clear objective: deterring the use of chemical weapons and degrading Assad's capabilities.
Comprehensive, specific plan. Here's hoping for a diplomatic solution.